In this video, we're exploring the world's most magnificent board game.
Hello and welcome to another video. You know, from time to time, or I would say almost every video, I get comments like, hey, I love your videos, it's great content and so inspiring, but I don't have the room in my apartment to build a layout like that, or model railroading is really expensive, I cannot afford it. It would be really fun to try it out, but I can't do that. And this autumn and winter I'll be making a few videos for you, and this is the first one, which helps you to capture your interest for model railroading, still staying in the same apartment, still operating on the same budget.
Let's now cover some basics of how these meetings typically are set up and what you can expect arriving as a guest to your first meeting. I was kindly invited to American N meeting, where most of the video is from. Now, in the beginning of each day or a new session, specific roles are handed out to more experienced players or participants. The first of those is the dispatcher, who controls the flow of trains over the entire layout. It's also common to assign a yardmaster or station master to the bigger yards or stations of the layout. The yardmaster typically controls the turnouts, sort car cards and keep track of in- and outgoing trains from the yard. If the yard is very large, they may also assign a dedicated switch crew, which will sort the cars in the yard. In some cases, there is also an engine hostler assigned. He selects engines, create consist when needed, fueling, sanding, coaling and adding oil, and maintenance to the locomotives of the layout. All other participants on the meeting instead pick a job description from a deck which is in front of the dispatcher normally. Your first job description as a guest will most likely be train driver, driving a train from one point to another. In most cases, this means you need to switch the train together first to the consist specified in the job description, and then call up the dispatcher to get a track warrant, a kind of clearance to run your train to the first destination.
Dispatcher, this is 230 calling, over. Dispatch to 230, over. 230 requesting permission to work corning. The passenger train has left, over.
Train 70, get track warrant number 2.
Once you got the permission to depart, you start the train and run it to the next destination. The route is typically found in the job description, while the destination for each of the freight cars is specified in the waybill for each car. As a train driver, you also have to take contact with yardmasters or station master before entering their areas, as well as sticking to speed limits and also checking the aspects of the signals along the way. On arrival to a destination, you call up the dispatcher saying that you have arrived, and if you have freight cars for this destination, they should be switched into the designated track, and the car cards with the waybill for those freight cars are dropped into the spotted box. Now, the setup can of course vary a bit from one meeting to another, especially between the different continents here, Europe and US. But the workflow on these meetings basically follow this pattern, so you are at least oriented in what to expect when arriving to your first meeting.
You can stay in the same apartment and staying on the same budget, and you don't have to build a model railroad first, 10 years, and then invite your friends to run sessions, operations on your model railroad. No, you can just join in on one of these meetings and meet like-minded people and have fun during a weekend running trains like that. So It's awesome. I really recommend it. And the first point of contact here in Europe, I'm saying here because I'm in Europe, is Fremo. I'm putting up a link so you can find Fremo and join that organization. They have an excess of 1,800 members already, and they have about 70 meetings throughout the different corners of Europe over 1 year. So there should be a meeting somewhere close to you. So you don't have to travel all that far. If you're in the US, then it's the NMRA, North American Railroad Association, who's the first point of contact. Then in addition to these two big organizations, there are many small. So, but I think it's a good way into this world, and it will get you off to the first meeting in an easy way. So I really recommend this. Please comment in the comment field below this video after you've been to the first meeting, and let me know what you think. I thank you very much for watching this video. I also want to send a big thank you to the American N, Fremo American N organization, who allowed me to join as a guest and make some film from their meeting here in Fagerhult, Sweden. And if you have use for the information provided on this channel, like the inspiration provided, please support the channel. Get over to Patreon, set up a support account there from, you know, like $1-2 per month, or make a one-off donation using the PayPal dialog found in the video description below. And if you're not yet a subscriber to the channel, subscribe and enable that little bell next to the subscription button, and you will get a notification once next video gets published. Until that happens, see you.